The sound of a newborn's cries, for most, the pinnacle of hope and life. But what if that sound, instead of relief, brought an abrupt and heavy silence? A silence that swallowed joy, expectation, and even the decades of experience of an entire medical team. This is the story of Sarah Miller, a woman who had a textbook pregnancy. With every test and ultrasound confirming her baby's perfect health, there was nothing, absolutely nothing, that could predict what would happen that day. Sarah and David Miller were an ordinary couple, eagerly anticipating the start of their family. Sarah's pregnancy was medically flawless. She followed every recommendation, attended every appointment, and passed every prenatal test with flying colors. Ultrasounds showed a healthy, developing fetus with all the expected features. The heart beat strong, the organs formed correctly, and genetic markers were all reassuring. There was no family history of rare diseases, no red flags whatsoever. The medical team, led by Dr. Evelyn Reed, an obstetrician with over 20 years of experience, was confident. Everything indicated a perfectly normal birth. The due date arrived, and Sarah was admitted. The delivery room was modern and fully equipped. The team was experienced, and the atmosphere, while tense, was routine. Labor progressed smoothly. Sarah showed incredible strength as the baby's head began to crown. It was a moment of pure anticipation. Dr. Reed was ready to guide the baby into the world. Pediatrician Dr. Alan Carter prepared for the first examinations. Nurses stood by, ready to clean and warm the newborn. It was a scene of perfect, predictable normality. But that normality was about to be shattered. The baby was born. A strong, healthy cry filled the room, just as expected. But the symphony of relief and joy was cut short. Dr. Reed, who had just guided the head out, froze. Her eyes, which had witnessed the miracle of life countless times, widened in utter shock. Dr. Carter, approaching to receive the newborn, stopped dead in his tracks, his expression shifting from anticipation to icy disbelief. The nurses, reaching out to swaddle the baby, instinctively recoiled. A heavy, suffocating silence fell over the room. What they saw was not a known deformity or a rare condition catalogued in medical books. It was something else entirely. The baby, who appeared perfectly healthy in every other way, pink skin, a vigorous cry, active reflexes, possessed a characteristic that had no explanation. Its skin displayed to perfectly distinct tones, divided with almost geometric precision from head to toe. It was as if two different children had been fused into one, but with an impossibly clean demarcation line. One side was a lighter shade of skin, the other, slightly darker, with no blending or transition between them. This wasn't a birthmark or a pigmentation disorder. It was a perfect, visible division. A living chimera. Dr. Reed, her hand trembling almost imperceptibly, examined the dividing line. There was no scar, no sign of surgery, no hint of any external intervention. The two tones appeared to be an organic, natural part of the baby. Dr. Carter, shaking off his initial shock, took the baby for a more detailed examination. He checked every reflex, listened to every heartbeat, and monitored every breath. Everything was normal, except for the impossible skin. He immediately pulled Sarah's files, frantically reviewing every ultrasound, every genetic test result. There was no mention, no shadow, not the slightest hint of such an anomaly. The prenatal scans, which should have revealed any significant anatomical deviation, were completely clean. It was as if this characteristic had simply materialized at the moment of birth. The team tried to remain calm, but a silent panic was spreading through the room. They had just witnessed something that modern medicine could not explain. This wasn't just a curiosity, it was a biological impossibility. Dr. Reed, her voice strained, requested the baby be taken for further testing, but the order was given with a strange hesitation. She knew that no standard test would be able to explain what they were seeing. Sarah, exhausted and now deeply confused by the chilling silence, asked what was wrong. The team, struggling to find the right words, said nothing. The baby was whisked away, and the delivery room, once a place of life, became a stage for the inexplicable. The hospital records were immediately sealed. The baby's examinations were classified as top secret. The story was suppressed, and the entire medical team was instructed to maintain absolute confidentiality. But what they saw, what they touched, what they couldn't explain, would remain seared into their minds forever. What was that baby? An unknown mutation, a new stage of human evolution. or something that defied the very origins of life on Earth? And the biggest question of all, why had nothing been detected in all the tests? The anomaly wasn't just physical. It was an anomaly of information, a complete failure of the very systems designed to predict such an event. The mystery wasn't just what the baby was, but how it could exist without leaving a single trace of its true nature before being born. To this date, the case of Sarah Miller's baby remains one of the hospital's most closely guarded secrets. The records were altered, team members were transferred or retired, and the story was officially filed away as a documentation error. That the silence of that team, the haunted look in their eyes, and the way Dr. Reed and Dr. Carter would avoid any mention of that day, spoke louder than any official report. Sarah and David were told their child had an extremely rare and unprecedented genetic condition. They were advised to seek treatment at a specialized institution far from prying eyes. They vanished from public life, taking their child, and the mystery, with them. What happened to the baby? Did it grow up with this impossible division? Did it develop other unusual characteristics? The truth remains hidden, locked away in secret archives and in the disturbed memories of a handful of medical professionals. The birth of that baby was a chilling reminder that reality can be far stranger than we dared to imagine, and that some secrets are so profound, they must be buried forever.
If this case messed with your head, follow the channel for more stories like this. We share real events that were documented, but never fully explained. And if there's a case you think should be told here, leave it in the comments. Until the next video, bye-bye.